Welcome to Shootin' It Straight with Stan. I'm your host, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, and of course, licensed in all 50 states. Today's topic, inverted annuity yield curve. Now, CNBC and Fox Business and everybody in the newspapers, the Wall Street Journal, they are just writing these articles about the inverted yield curve. What is that? The definition purely and simply is that the 2-year Treasury rate is higher than the 10-year Treasury rate, and that just recently happened. And typically when that happens, that's a predeterminate of a possible upcoming recession, okay? So we know what comes with that and all of the things that come with that. But we're going to talk about how it affects annuities and what's happening right now in this inverted yield curve environment, which is really, really strange. Now, we're having multiple black swan events, as you well know. We just got out of the COVID. We have inflation. We have gas prices at ridiculous levels. We have a war going on. We have a potential war with China who's watching Russia to see how all this plays out, and they're going to start invading and taking over as well. We printed tons of money, 25% more money than we had 2 years ago, and the Fed is saying they're going to raise interest rates. I mean, that's a lot to take in. And in addition, we have new things like crypto, and we just have all kinds of chaos. And oh, by the way, upcoming is the midterms. So how do you decipher this? How do you time it? One of the biggest questions I get all the time is, hey, Stan, what's the best time to buy? Should I wait? Should I buy now? There's no good answers, just bad sales pitches, as you know. But let's talk about this inverted yield curve and how it is affecting annuities right now and what we are actually seeing and the potential opportunity that you could take advantage of. Now, interestingly enough, easy for me to say, multi-year guarantee annuities, which are called migas, which is the annuity industry version of a CD. It's a guaranteed interest rate for a specific period of time. If you purchase CDs, then you're going to like migas. Some people compare it to bonds. I'm not sure I want to go there because bond valuations underlying can change, whereas a miga underlying valuation is locked in, principal protect, doesn't make it better than a bond, but it is what it is. But what we are seeing in this inverted yield curve environment is opportunity for you. And that's not some darn sales pitch, so calm down. You know me better than that. I'm not going to do that. But what we've seen is in the MIGA world, and when you go to my site at theannuityman.com and you pull up the live MIGA feed, you put in your state, you put in the duration that you're looking for, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, and it pops up all the carriers. Now, a lot of times, carriers will pop up that you've never heard their name, or they're an A- rated or A rated or B+ rated or even B+ rated. And I have a different strategy for analyzing MIGAs and the carriers for the claims payability. Unlike lifetime income stream annuities, which are not MIGAs, SPIAs, DIAs, QLEX, income riders, when I look at that, I am looking at the claims payability for your life. So it's a different analysis than when I look at a multi-year guarantee annuity where you're buying it for 3 years. We're probably only going to be there for 3 years. Either we're going to transfer it to another company with a higher rate, we're going to send the money back to you, whatever. So I look at it a little bit different. And sometimes we do recommend on the short end of the spectrum from the duration standpoint, we'll recommend maybe a B++ company. And in some cases on a 1 and a 2 year, maybe a B+ company, because we're only going to be there for 2 years. Got it? Nod your head. Okay. So what's happening right now, which is unbelievable and unpredictable, but it's an opportunity. The big boys, and I won't mention their names, but they're A++ carriers, 98 or 100 on the Comdex score. And these carriers are popping to the top of the MIGA feeds. Now, typically, let's just say a month ago, 2 months ago, if you pulled the MIGA feed for your state and you scroll down and you're looking for that A++ carrier because you really want to go with a quality, highly rated, high Comdex score carrier, they were way down the list. They were either 50 or 75 basis points lower than the highest yield for that duration. So, for instance, if the highest 3-year was 3-year yield was 2.75, then these A++ carriers were at maybe 2.1. And maybe you wanted to buy it at 2.1. But what we're seeing right now, are the big boys. The A double plus carriers are at the top or right at the top. They're either finishing number 1 or number 2 or number 3. And in that scenario, when you are looking at double A plus carriers versus B double plus carriers, no brainer, right? You're going to choose the big boy. You're going to choose the claims paying ability of those A double plus carriers. Now, you have to, people always say, well, what happens if those companies go out of business? Dan? What happens when the A double plus? There's no company that's too big to fail. Bull crap. Okay. If these A double plus carriers, 198 and 99 on a Comdex score, go out of business, then me and you are in your local grocery store, and I see you pick up the bread at the bread aisle. I'll see you pick up the bread, the white bread, the really cheap one, and I'm going to punch you in the face to get it. In other words, there's anarchy. Me and you are fighting for bread if these companies ever go out of business. We got bigger issues in the country. So don't even start with me on that. These A double plus companies can back up the claims. Now, with that being said, I am telling people to go 5 years and in. So look at the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. But where these A double plus companies are being competitive is at the 3 year and 5 year level. Oh my goodness. Pound the table. Take a look. Don't hesitate. Now, I've had people go, well, I really like that. I really like that, Stan. But I'm going to wait for interest rates to move. That's your call, player. It's your money. I respect that. But this is a moment in time. Now, the only negative I would say, to these types of offerings from these A double plus carriers, their minimum to actually get into the policy is typically $100,000. Not all the time, but most of the time. Now, that I know a lot of you say, well, that's too much. That's too rich for my blood. That's fine. But for the people that really want a very good CD type rate, a very good bond type rate, then this is your place to go. Now, let's talk a little bit about the bond comparisons. Because I managed municipal bonds and bonds in general at Morgan Stanley and UBS a long, long time ago, in a previous life where I wore suits and not hats and sweatsuits. I like the hats and sweatsuits better, by the way. I don't like comparing bonds and annuities. And a lot of Yahoo index annuity gunslinger idiots, salesmen that are just giving the annuity industry a bad name. They'll say, well, index annuities are like bonds. No, they're not. Okay. If you're going to make a comparison, bonds to annuities, the only product comparison only is multi-year guarantee annuities or multi-year guarantee annuities, whatever grammatical is or are you want to put there. MIGAs are the only legitimate correlation. Why? Because bond yields have a guaranteed coupon. MIGA yields have a guaranteed coupon. Indexed annuities don't have a guaranteed coupon. It's hypothetical, theoretical, back-tested, unicorns chasing the butterfly, nonsense, projected, hopeful return scenario where the agents put in a square peg into a round hole. Don't let that person do that. Now, unfortunately, there's been some smart people that are friends of mine that have written stupid articles saying, well, indexed annuities should really kind of be compared to bonds. No, get out of your ivory tower, take off your ascot, take off the jacket with those elbow protectors, get the pipe out of your mouth and get real. Get down here in the dirt with Stan the Annuity Man, dealing with consumers across the country in all 50 states. And I know bonds. I've forgotten more about bonds than most people will ever know. I manage them at a very high level. Annuities are not bonds. But if you're going to make that correlation, okay, I was just in an article. It's MIGAs. I was just mentioning an article in Barron's about where to find good yield that's comparative to bonds. And the author contacted me, and he asked the index annuity question, and I yelled, no! I said, MIGAs. And when I showed it to him, he's like, well, why isn't anyone else showing? I asked why isn't anyone? Because the commissions are way low. But it doesn't matter. Who cares? That doesn't matter to you. Commissions are built in anyway. And the only reason that, and if you say, I want a guaranteed interest rate and I want a short-term piece of paper, and some sociopath shows you an indexed annuity, you need to smack him like Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. You really do. And you can do that because obviously you're not going to get in trouble if you smack people now. You literally can walk up and smack them. And if they arrest you, go, wait a minute. Will Smith did not get arrested when he hit Chris Rock. And Chris Rock didn't say as an offensive thing as this agent just said to me when he said index annuities are like bonds. And really, MIGAs are like bonds. So this wasn't that a fun diatribe? Listen to me. Lean in, okay? This is a moment in time. The inverted annuity yield curve equals opportunity. The inverted annuity yield curve means the big boys are coming in and being ridiculously competitive with MIGA rates in the 3 and 5 year tranches. My opinion with that, they're trying to wipe people. They're trying to dominate. They're trying to suck the oxygen out of the room and suck all the money out of the annuity space and the MIGA space. And I feel sorry for those lower rated carriers, because you can't argue and say, well, we're B double plus and we got really nice people at the company that make good coffee and you should buy us instead of the A double plus carriers. Give me a break. Okay. So the inverted annuity yield curve, the inverted yield curve equals annuity opportunity that even yours truly, Stan the Annuity Man, did not predict. But it's time for you to take a look. Go to my site, theannuityman.com, pull up the MIGA feed, schedule a call with me. Let's talk about it. See you next week.